Yo, yo, what up, what up, what up? What's popping? What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, in this live stream, right, what I want to talk about is the number one secret to getting good at game and, also learning how to attract women, right? So, I've been doing this for damn near over 10 years. You understand? Coaching guys, teaching guys how to get girls, teaching guys how to be more attractive, just all those different things, right? And so in today's, video, I want to talk about, the number one secret to getting good at game and, attracting these women, right? And so this is the thing. The number one secret is you have to take this one day at a time. Okay? You have to take this one day at a time. So you probably heard me talk about like men in the game who are advanced at the game. Meaning, let's say, for example, a guy who can go out to a bar, a club, out in the street or whatever, and interact with women, and let's say 8 to 9 times out of 10, he'll be able to, let's say pull a chick from the club that night and have a one night stand with this girl that he pulled, or, go out the next week and be able to like get with another chick, right? So that's the type of guy you would say is more advanced, right? But the reason why he's advanced, or the way that he got advanced, was that he took the game one day at a time. You understand? So he did basic shit over and over again. And then that made him become advanced, which made him good at the game. But he did it one day at a time. Right? So let's say, for example, even with, like approaching women. So you've got a lot of guys out here who are scared to approach women, guys who are afraid to cold approach, right? And so let's say you have a guy who wants to meet women and he's scared to cold approach. He's scared of rejection. He has approach anxiety and all this other stuff. But what he has to do in order to get good at that, he has to take this shit one day at a time. You understand? So he may go out every day for a whole week and approach no woman, right? But see, he's still taking it one day at a time, because every day that week when he was out there, he would see women he wants to approach. He would think about approaching them. He would imagine what it would be like to approach them, right? Even though he hasn't approached yet, because he still has that fear. You understand? He still has that, anxiety when it comes to approaching women, right? Which is okay at this point, because he's just starting out. And see, this is the thing where the reason why a lot of guys don't get good at game is because, they'll be, just starting out trying to make things happen, but it just seems like so much shit. It just seems like a big thing to do, and they feel like they can never do that thing. You understand? So it's like, I can never just approach a girl in the street and talk to her. Like, they feel they can't do that, right? But the thing is that if you're taking this one day at a time, what's going to happen is that you're going to, take your time with the game and go at your own pace. And then you're going to start to see results based off of you going at that pace. So that same guy who was afraid to talk to girls that whole week, he might go a whole nother week and not talk to any women. But he's going outside. Let's say he's going to bars. He's sitting there. He's sitting next to women. He's getting in close proximity with them, but he's just not comfortable yet to take the step, right? But again, he's taking it one day at a time. So let's say 2 weeks pass and he still hasn't really talked to any women. So what's going to happen is, because he has the desire to talk to women and to interact with women, at some point, his desire is going to override his fear of, talking to the women. See, I talked about this before, this whole desire and fear thing, right? And I always say that your desire always has to override your fear, right? Because, if he desires to approach women and talk to women and make it happen, right? Eventually he's going to talk to women and make it happen, because his desire at some point is going to override his fear. His fear is right here. Right now, his fear is probably here, and his desire to get the chicks is here. But as soon as his desire overrides his fear, because he's going to be like, fuck this. I want to talk to women. I want to get a girl. I want to make shit happen. So his desire is going to push him to talk. But understand that he got to that point. Let's say 2 weeks passed, and then on the third week, he finally says something to a woman, right? His desire overrode his fear, but also because he was taking shit one day at a time, right? It got him to that third week of where he just was like, you know what? Today's the day because every day before that, I was like, going out. I was being around women. I was getting used to the environment. I was thinking about it. And so now he's taking that next step to just say hi, to just talk, to just interact with the woman. You understand? But what you have to understand is that the secret to getting good at this is taking this shit one day at a time. See, again, the guy who is advanced, the guy who could go out to a club, bar, whatever, approach a bunch of different women, be comfortable interacting with chicks, that's because he took the shit one day at a time. That same guy who took 2 weeks to even talk to one woman, right? Within a year or so, maybe a year and a half, whatever, based on his level of, putting out the work and putting shit out there, he could become that advanced guy. He could become that guy who goes out, approaches different women, being able to get women's numbers, going back to his place and all this other stuff. But he started out as the guy who went weeks without talking to anyone, who went weeks being scared to talk to women. You feel what I'm saying? But see, the secret is you got to take the shit one day at a time. See, the problem is, a lot of guys want to find secret formulas to this shit. They want to go from, not talking to any woman, not having any women, to having, multiple beautiful women just like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you got to take the shit one day at a time. And even when we talk about taking it one day at a time, it also entails, you being able to understand that you learning game, you learning certain things is going to take you some time to do that, right? So you're taking that also one day at a time. See, what most people don't realize is this, is that the game, right, is, about your mindset, right? How you think, your thoughts, because that's going to dictate your actions, right? Now, what I find interesting is this, is that most people will go to the gym, right? Because they want to work on their body, right? So you're going to the gym consistently. Let's say you go to the gym 5 days a week to work on your body, right? And so what you do is, in order to make sure that your body is maintained and, and stays fit and healthy, is you go to the gym on a consistent basis. And, when you're first starting out, you're doing it one day at a time. You understand? So, a lot of people, usually they have New Year's resolutions. They're like, I'm going to go to the gym or whatever. And some people just get to the point where they're like, I gotta, really get into the gym. And then what happens is that you take that first step to go, then you go the next day, then you go to the next day, and you stay focused. You may even fall off a little. You may miss 2 or 3 days, but you jump right back on it. But you take it one day at a time, right? Now, what I find interesting is that people mostly work on exercising their bodies. But what we don't work on is exercising our mind. You understand? We do not work on exercising our mind. We do not take it one day at a time to exercise our mind, to, exercise that mindset. So a lot of times when you're talking about mindset and confidence and you thinking and believing you are that dude, that's something that has to be maintained. That's something that has to be worked on every day. Your mindset has to be worked on every day the same way that your body has to be worked on almost every day in the gym. You understand? The same way you work out your body is the same way you have to work out your mind. So when I say working out your mind is learning the game, understanding your value. You understand? Having that positive mindset, being confident. And this has to be something that's worked on daily. You take it one day at a time. You understand? You have to train your mind. You understand? It's because even me, for example, I've been listening to a lot of audios and videos on different types of positive thinking and like spirituality, all these other different things, right? And I'm exercising my mind with this information. You understand? And I'm working on myself by exercising my mind. You see what I'm saying? And I'm taking it one day at a time. So the same thing applies to the game. The same thing applies when you're talking about interacting with women, getting better at attracting women. You understand? You have to exercise your mind. Now, one thing I have to say that's going to really, that really helps with this, and this is a perspective that's going to really help with this, is to